Hi, I'm with with Varun, and he's a forensic expert. We are on the sidelines of Hackon in Indore, and I'm going to have a conversation with him. Welcome, Varun.
Pleasure.
Hi, Varun. Tell us a little bit, a very short brief about your career, because I know that you started off in information security about 4 or 5 years back.
Yes.
And today you are a recognized forensic guru, expert, professional. So tell me about this.
So first of all, thank you for your such kind words. So after my BTech in Bhopal, I was teaching at an engineering college for some time, and after that, yes, I joined information security, and it became my primary domain. So I've been in Bombay for 5 years, 4.5 years now. So I began my career with VAPT. I started doing VAPT, and after that I was inclined towards forensics, and the reason being, it's a part where you get to investigate live cases. So there's a fraud that has happened with the corporate, there's a malware that has come up, and there's a ransomware that has been downloaded into somebody's machine. So these are things that fascinated me, and from there I took on as forensics, and now my core domain is forensics, and I do a lot of the RAM forensics part, the memory forensics, and also the malware part.
So like forensics is not something which is usually easily available as far as training is concerned. So tell us how, let's take for the people who are going to be watching this, how does an information security guy get into forensics?
So forensics is something where you have to have a very good knowledge of many things that comes up. For example, you should be very good at Windows internals. Then only you know what thing is stored in which part of Windows, which part of the computer. You should be very good with networking. You should be very good with the operating system, and also a little bit of programming. That is one thing. Second thing in forensics that I have learned last four years is like forensics something where you have to have patience. So when you investigate a case, it could be a case where you get the evidence on the very first day, and there could be times when you have to spend maybe weeks, and then also you get a little bit of evidence. So you have to have patience, and the subjects that I just spoke about, you have to have a very good knowledge of these subjects.
So when we talk of forensics, we watch TV programs or whatever.
Yeah.
So you find people wearing gloves and all that, and trying and picking up samples of blood and samples of hair and DNA and all that. So how does it differ from what you are doing?
So actually, if you see the procedure that they use there is something which is very similar we use for computers also. For example, I'll just give an example, I'll connect it with a layman's language. If you reach to a crime scene means you know that this is a computer where there has been a fraud happened or a malware attack or something. So you have two things: either the computer is on or the computer is off. As if for example, a man is stabbed on road, so he's about to die or he's dead. If he's about to die, police records the statement, and if he's dead, then it goes for the post-mortem. So same thing happens with the computer. If the machine is live, you collect the RAM dump first, because that is volatile, and then if you go for the hard disk forensic, where you image the hard disk, and again, as you see, if you wear gloves in the live murder scene or something, that is because you are investigating and you cannot tamper evidences. The same thing happens in forensics also. Here you won't wear gloves and all, but yes, you record everything is picturized, and then you have to have the hash values taken, and it is matched later.
So okay, let's make it a bit more simple for people who are non-techie. So we'll not talk about hash values, we'll not talk about memory dumps and images and whatever. But I have a very different question.
Yes, sir.
Is that, let's say XYZ company or somebody has a incident.
Yeah.
Maybe ransomware or anything. Or he finds that there's a breach or some, any which way they come to know.
Yes.
And we all usually hear horror stories of contaminated crime scenes.
Yes.
That is the first thing that happens. Somebody comes and switches off the machine, somebody comes, or even if the law enforcement guys go in, some of them don't know how to, collect evidence or...
Yes.
So the question which I have is a very basic question. So if there is something wrong, law enforcement agency, somebody goes there, how should that person, I would say, collect evidence? Does he put on the machine, what should he do?
Yes, sir. So now we always have, when you talk about collecting evidences, it could be from a hard disk of a computer or it could be from a mobile. So you should have best practices followed for collecting evidences both on computers and on mobile. But the scene about in our Indian forensics thing is that we don't have a set of rules or a set of, a checklist kind of thing where okay, this is the first thing. So there is no procedure for collecting evidences. That is one thing which is lacking, and it should be there. Now we'll talk about a simple hard disk forensics. If you're talking about, the first thing you do is, yes, you have a chain of custody where you take this thing from the computer is taken from the IT person. Then you open the computer and open the laptop and take out the hard disk. And once you take out the hard disk, it is connected to a imager where the data of the hard disk.
So you switch off the laptop and then put on the computer.
So as I said, it could be two things. One, it is already switched off. When you go, it's shut down, the machine is dead, or it is live. If it is dead, you pull out the hard disk. If it is live, you collect the RAM dump first. But when you talk about collecting RAM dump, the biggest challenge is to maintain the integrity of the file that you have copied, because as we know, RAM is a volatile component. And even a single click on the keystroke or even a single keystroke on the keyboard will be contaminating the evidences. So minimal interaction with the live computer is needed. So that is one thing. So that is something which should be taken care of, and you can't have. So for hash values or the MD5 values that we're talking about, for hard disk it is very easy to take, but for RAM it is not easy because the data is being it's a volatile.
So how does let's say a simple guy at a police station, how does he learn what to do in an event he goes in and there's a live machine over there?
So in that case,
that is the whole point.
Yes. So in that case, it depends how he is collecting the RAM dump. For example, he'll have a tool which dumps the RAM memory. So he should have it in the pen drive. He should insert the pen drive, and he should just execute that application.
So okay, now we're talking about pen drive. Now you mentioned a checklist or sort of a procedure. I'm assuming that it is the law enforcement agency should have the procedure.
Yes.
So along with the procedure, so every police station should have an incident response kit.
Yes, so they should have.
What should that have? A checklist of things to do. Number one.
So a checklist of things to do. A hardware imager, a software RAM dump which can take a RAM dump. Then there should be a screwdriver set which should be always carried. Then a camera to photograph the whole crime scene. Yes, these are things which should be there in an incident response kit.
Good. So. Okay, we'll come back to the forensic, training and skill building, let us say.
Yes.
So, how is it? Are there a lot of forensic experts in the country, or there's?
So sadly, but the truth is, yes, we don't have that much when you compare it with an information security professional or a VAPT guy. We have very less number of forensic people, and the thing is that it could be two things. What I think is that people don't find forensics to be very flashy or very flamboyant kind of thing where yes, you can go and you can tell everybody, yeah, this is what I'm doing. So again, it requires patience and it requires the knowledge of all the subjects that I talked about earlier. And second thing is directly jumping into forensics. I think if the better thing is you go into information security first and then you come to forensics. So you know more about networks, you know more about malwares and more about VAPT.
But forensics is much more than hardware forensics. There's also database or financial forensics.
Database, yes, there could be
accounting
servers,
forensics.
There could be servers, there could be accounting.
Yeah.
So the thing is, again, you have to keep learning and you have to keep practicing. So the more the challenges you solve, the more live cases you solve, the more more expert you become or more proficient you become on this.
So what sort of as a ending up question?
Yeah.
So what sort of cases you find happening most?
Okay. So these days, the most cases that comes up is ransomware. So where you go to computer, you have an email, you click on some link, a software is downloaded, everything is encrypted and sent out. That is one thing.
Right.
Second is the insurance sectors. Yes, they are facing a lot of problems. For example, what happens is somebody has died or somebody, say a company has got fired or anything, any issue. And then the documents are forged. So that they can get the compensation or they can get insurance easily. So that is again, insurance sector is one which is under the scope. And then there is kickbacks. For example, a vendor giving kickback to an employee or a disgruntled employee sending an email or a female sending an email to somebody else. So these are the cases that that comes up daily.
Okay. And so, so what would you say? Like, is it good for somebody as a fresher to come into forensics, or he should spend a couple of years and then get into forensics?
So I spent my years first in information security, and then I jumped into forensics, and it worked for me.
Okay.
So maybe for that person it could work, but I'll suggest yes, you should have basic knowledge of information security before you jump into forensics.
And scope is good, money is good.
Scope is good, money is good.
Oh, that's nice. So you obviously,
and it brings a smile to my face.
With your smile, I know the money is very good. So that's nice. Anyway,
so it's all about demand and supply, sir. The more the demand, less the supply, you get money.
Right. So good. So you work with the government too, or you just work with the private companies?
So I just work with the private company, and at times I support our own police for a few cases.
Great. Okay, Varun, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.